Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Jefferson, there's something that concerns me because I've got several of my companies. Just so you know, I drove tractor trailers most of my life. Drove my first tractor trailer across the lot when I was 9 years old. Come from a family that started in 1933 in the trucking industry. And I believe that safety is vitally important, but I also see some of the rules and the concerns that I have as the rules move forward at a time when driver shortages are so bad. And I want safety first, but I need to look and see what we can do to make sure as we implement certain things that those things can be implemented and still allow us the opportunity to provide, because we got a lot of people out there needing products and needing to keep products moving. So what I want to know is there anything whenever we implement the ELD, and we're coming up on a deadline when it has to be implemented. Several companies don't have them in place yet. They're trying. The expense is very large. Do we have some kind of mechanism in there that allows leeway for the implementation of this, or are there any things out there that allow you in the rules to allow that to happen and give a wise opportunity for those companies to meet those regulations?
Congressman, the first implementation date or compliance date for electronic logging devices is December 18th of this year.
I know that very well.
And we've been working very closely with industry as well as our state and local law enforcement partners towards preparing for that date. We have over 70 providers that have signed up, ELD providers, and we're seeing the cost of equipment come down as we get closer to the date, as we get more and more companies that are providing the equipment. And the ELD rule was intended to be a performance-based rule to allow for lower-cost solutions for small businesses, for small carriers, up to state-of-the-art fleet management systems for larger systems. Those lower-cost systems are compliant with the rule, and we will continue throughout the rest of the summer and into the fall to get out and meet with drivers and try to understand the issues, but we do see the costs coming down.
Okay. Let me ask you this then, because what I really want to know is if, as they're trying to turn this up and you're limited on the amount of people that can install them and you have all this, now you're hitting their December hard line. After that December hard line, someone stopped, they are charged, and how are they charged? Or is there any way that there can be an extension if they do not have these programs in place?
We don't have a way to extend it. The compliance date was in the final rule. However, I can assure you that we are working with industry, with our state and local law enforcement partners to make sure that not only are we ready, but also what's the state of the industry as we get closer to that date. And we're seeing, as I said, more and more companies coming in with lower cost solutions, and the companies that have previously equipped with automated onboard recording devices have an additional year to upgrade to the ELD standards.
Okay, so my question, then is the company then the one that's responsible, or is the driver? If all of a sudden the driver gets in the one that's not equipped, are they responsible?
The company is responsible for the vehicle. The driver is responsible for keeping track of their hours of service.
So they can use a regular logbook to do that after December 18th?
If they have an exemption to be able to use it.
If they have the exemption, okay.
Yes.
All right. So what I also need to know then, I guess, and because I'm running out of time, but as we move forward with this, is there any exemptions for times like, for instance, when we have a very bad cold snap and we have propane drivers and gas haulers that need to get products? Is there going to be exemptions for extension of hours? Because once you have an EDL in place, it's no longer based on your manual logbook. Now all of a sudden we're on the technology and everything like that. It's the same thing for grain season, same thing for the list goes on and on of those times when product needs to be moved and people need extra hours to get those products moved.
Congressman, let's keep in mind that the hours of service regulations have not changed. It's just the method of recording hours of service. And so during heating season, where companies currently can request exemptions
They can still
to
do
hours
that.
of service, they can still do that.
Okay. Thank you very much. My time is over.